So the chapter 12 part A, agent represent principal. So real estate agents are agents who represent their principal in a particular transaction. So highlight the keyword principal, right? So principal, basically in real estate, to our client we call principal. So just like lawyers, they call their customer, right, as client, and the shopkeeper call the customers. But in the real estate we call our client principal. So principal can be buyer or can be seller. In 1994, most real estate board in BC adopted a new system of agency. So the real estate agent who is working with the buyer is an agent for the buyer. So highlight agent for the buyer and highlight the word 1994. And the real estate agent who lists the property remains the agent for the seller. So basically, so there are two agents. One is the selling agent, one is the listing agent, right? So basically, buyer's agent or the seller's agent. So anyone of sound mind can be an agent, talents agents, agent scout for hockey, etc. But in BC, anyone acting as a real estate agent must be licensed. So highlight the word must be licensed under the Real Estate Services Act. So basically, if you want to get a commission, right, so you must be licensed. So then we talk about creating an agency, and there are three types. One is express contract. So you highlight the word express. An agency relationship is created by an express agreement which can be in writing or oral. So highlight writing or oral. Oral means verbal. Express means clear agreement, right? Basically, so both parties agree clearly. Section 59 of the Real Estate Service Act requires exclusive listing to be in writing. So highlight exclusive listing and highlight in writing, highlight section 59. So section 59 of the Real Estate Act makes sure that you must make a listing in a written format. Exclusive means you are the only agent who can sell that. That's exclusive. For example, I say sell my home, right? And and you are the only person who can sell. This does not distribute. This is not distributed to all the realtors. It's only for the realtor. So now you know express, right? And then is implied. So highlight the implied. An agency can be implied simply by conduct. So highlight by conduct means by behavior, right? Or by you automatically assume, such as a authorized B to take his car to the auction, not action, auction, and sell it for him. So basically, so I say, okay, Sukhi, you take my car and sell it for auction. So now you go there, you sell it, right? It's implied. And sometimes I say, okay, basically go buy a car from auction, but make sure you buy BMW. So you go there, you buy BMW, but they were also selling GM along with it as a package for $500. You bought it too. If I say okay, then it means I have ratified that. So now you use implied authority. But I told you to buy BMW, you use the implied to buy, because you can't buy without buying GM. So implied means by conduct, right? And then is agency by estoppels. So highlight that too. One person's principal words or that person's act, so highlight words and acts, in such a way as to lead the third party to believe. So highlight third party to believe that another person, the agent, has authority to act on behalf of the principal. So and highlight on behalf of principal. Basically, for example, so every household there is one center of influence person, right? Who makes a decision for the other guy. When you are new immigrant to this country, what happens? You have your brother-in-law, your father-in-law, or your wife, or somebody in this, who makes decision for you. When you buy a home, sometimes people seek their relatives' help. So whatever they say, they buy it. But it doesn't mean the contract is under them. Contract is still between the buyer and the seller, right? So it means, so when you make a decision based on your principal's behalf, right? In most cases, the principal is obliged to give notice to the third party. So highlight obligated to give notice, with whom the agent has been dealing with, that the agent authority has terminated when the vendor sells his property. So highlight terminated when vendor sell his property, his own no agent to the third party. Otherwise, the vendor may be bound by act of the agent where the third party relies on apparent authority. Apparent basically same thing. Apparent mean when your agent is making a decision on your behalf. For example, who made a decision on your behalf? Your daddy. Your daddy sends CEO as entrepreneur. Okay, why not? You should do the real estate, right? Right. This is your free time, right? So basically, so your dad has apparent authority, but still the contract is between me, right? Me and you, right? But basically, I am teaching you, right? So basically means, so the third party, so the makes a decision on your behalf, right? And next is the ratification. An agent's authority can be granted retroactively. So highlight the word retroactively. If the principal later consent means permits, give permission, right? To be bound by the unauthorized act of the agent, the principal has ratified, means accepted, I don't know the word accepted, the contract and is now bound by. So bound by means, so basically he has to follow, he has to comply, right? The contract just as if the agent had been authorized to make the contract in the first place. So ratification basically means, I say, Gaurav, sell my car. Sell my car for $5,000, right? So you sold my car for $5,000 to her, but so in my car I had a tennis racket sitting in the back. You sold that tennis racket also to her for $100, right? So rather than being mad at you, if I accept it, right, it means ratification. So acceptance afterward. Do you understand, right? You use your implied authority. Okay. So retroactive means after. Sometimes you work for a union job and you are fighting for the raise, right? But they give you raise after 2 years. So now they pay you retroactively going back 2 years. January 1st, 2009, you get the $2 raise, right? So now you understand ratification means? So ratification means simple means acceptance afterward. Acceptance retroactively. Next is scope of an agent's authority. The principal will be bound to the third party only by acts which are within the agent's authority, unless the principal ratifies those acts. Ratify, already right? Except vendor will not be bound to the third party unless the vendor agrees to it. Vendor means unless the seller agrees to it. Agent may be liable to the principal for breach of agency contract. So highlighted may be liable for breach, or to a third party for breach of implied warranty. Highlighted implied. Third party was led to believe agent had authority. For example, you sold that tennis racket to, right? Do you understand, right? I told you to sell the car only, but you sold the tennis racket. Now you can sue me too. You say no, I never authorized you to do that. You have breached my authority, or you can ratify. Either it's one of two things you can do. Okay.